based on an anonymous submission from Colorado, 2023. I've always been fine driving at night. I live near Pueblo, Colorado, so dark, empty highways are normal for me. But this one trip last winter still makes my stomach twist. It was past midnight on US 50 heading east back home. Cold air leaking through the vents, coffee gone cold. The road was dead quiet, no cars, just those orange highway lamps fading behind me. The gas light blinked on and I realized I hadn't passed a station in miles. A few minutes later, I spotted the flicker of a sign. High Mesa Fuel and Mart. Looked half abandoned but open, one of those tiny stops out in nowhere. I figured whatever, I'll just fill up and go. When I pulled in, the place was empty. Fluorescent lights buzzing, one dusty pickup by the side of the store. I parked at pump 4, stepped out, swiped my card. The air was freezing, quiet enough to hear the hum of the lights. No wind, no cars, nothing. Then I noticed him. Someone standing by pump 6. A dark jacket, jeans, facing the pump, but not moving. I swear he wasn't there when I pulled in. He didn't pump gas, didn't smoke, didn't even look at me, just stood there. For a second I thought maybe he worked there, but he wasn't wearing a uniform. Something about how still he was made me uneasy. I put the nozzle back, slid into the car, locked the doors. Through the mirror, I saw him turn his head toward me. Our eyes met, blank, cold, like he wasn't really seeing me. I looked away fast, heart thumping stupidly loud. Started the car, pulled toward the exit. When I glanced back one last time, he had stepped out into the open lot, just standing there watching my car leave. Once I got back on the highway, I told myself I was being paranoid. Weird people hang out at gas stations all the time. I cranked up the radio and tried to forget it. 10 minutes later, headlights appeared in my mirror. Low, close, moving fast. I stayed at 70 thinking they'd pass. They didn't. They stayed right behind me, 2 car lengths back, steady. I changed lanes. They changed too, slowed down. They slowed down. My pulse started racing. There was no one else on that stretch of highway. I decided to take the next exit, just to test it. A small service road curved down toward farmland. I turned on the blinker, eased right. The car followed instantly. No hesitation. That was enough for me. I stomped the gas, stayed on the ramp, then looped back toward the highway entrance. The car behind me did the same, shadowing every turn. I hit 90 trying to put distance between us. My phone buzzed in the cup holder. I picked it up, thinking maybe it was my girlfriend. Nope. A push notification I'd never seen before. Motion detected, High Mesa Fuel and Mart, pump 6. I stared at it for a split second too long. The thumbnail showed the gas station, grainy black and white. The man in the dark jacket was still standing there, but his head was tilted toward the camera, like he knew I was looking. The phone slipped from my hand. I grabbed the wheel, eyes darting to the mirror. The car behind me was still there, lights glaring white. I couldn't see the driver. Then just like that, it slowed down, dropped back until the headlights disappeared behind a hill. I didn't stop. I didn't even breathe until I hit the city lights of Pueblo. At a Love's truck stop off the exit, I parked under bright lamps and finally checked my phone again. The notification was gone. No history, no app called HM security feed. Nothing. That stretch of Highway 50 still makes me tense every time I drive it. Because sometimes, when I pass the faded sign for High Mesa Fuel and Mart, I swear I can still see a figure standing by pump 6, facing the road, waiting. Based on an anonymous submission from Penrose, Colorado, 2022. I was driving home from Colorado Springs after visiting a friend. It was close to 1 a.m, cold, and the stretch of CO 115 was dead quiet. The gas light came on somewhere, past the Penrose turnoff, so I pulled into a small station I'd been to once before during the day. The lot was empty except for a silver sedan parked crooked near the edge and an old semi idling in the dark. The place looked different at night, buzzing fluorescent lights, no movement inside the store. I parked, stepped out, and started filling up. That's when I noticed the sedan. A guy sat inside, hands on the wheel, staring straight ahead. Didn't glance at me, didn't move, just sat there. Something about how still he was felt off. No phone glow, no music, just silence. I told myself not to care. Finished pumping, locked the car, and went inside for a drink. The clerk was this tired guy in a hoodie, watching TV behind the counter. When he saw me, he gave a nod, then looked past me through the glass doors. His eyes lingered a second too long. "You heading back toward Cannon City?" he asked while ringing me up. "Yeah, just need gas for the drive." He hesitated, voice dropping lower. "Stick close to other cars tonight. Someone said a guy in a silver sedan followed her from here earlier." I laughed nervously. "Silver sedan, huh? Like that one?" He didn't answer, just looked at me, then said, "Drive safe." It was enough to make my skin crawl. When I stepped back outside, the air felt heavier. The sedan had moved. Closer now, 1 row over, headlights still off. I got in my car fast, locked the doors, and tried not to look. Of course I looked. He was still there, face turned toward me. Didn't move, didn't blink. I started the engine, pulled out, and turned toward US 50. Halfway down the road, headlights lit up behind me. The same silver sedan. I kept calm, telling myself it was coincidence, until it stayed exactly 2 car lengths behind. I slowed down. He slowed down. I sped up. He sped up. No mistake now. He was following me. The highway was empty, no lights, no other cars, just me and him. I turned onto the main stretch toward Cannon City and tried to stay at 70. The headlights stayed close, steady. When I hit a straightaway, he drifted into the next lane, lining up beside me. He rolled his window halfway down. I couldn't see his face, just a shape in the dark. He motioned for me to roll mine down too. Hell no. I ignored him, eyes forward, heart pounding. He drifted closer, our mirrors almost level. Then his lights flashed once, bright, blinding, and he fell back behind me again. I didn't know what game he was playing, but I wasn't about to find out. A mile later, I saw a semi's taillights up ahead. Finally, someone else on the road. I floored it just enough to catch up, then tucked in behind the truck. The sedan stayed behind us for a few seconds, then switched lanes, trying to edge closer again. At the next exit, I made a snap decision and took the ramp hard right. He followed immediately. No hesitation. The road curved into total darkness. No lights, no houses, just open field. My breath got shallow. I hit the first dirt pull-off I saw, killed my lights, and rolled to a stop. Heart slamming, I cut the engine too. A few seconds later, the sedan flew past, lights blazing, engine roaring. He didn't slow down, didn't even tap the brakes. I sat there in the dark, shaking. Waited a full minute before turning the car back on. No sign of him when I got back to the highway. No other headlights either. Just empty road. When I finally reached Cannon City, I stopped at a 24-hour diner, parked under the lights, and exhaled for what felt like the first time. My hands were still trembling. Before getting out, I noticed something stuck under the wiper, a folded card. No name, no number, just 3 words, printed small and clean. I saw you. That's it. No one believes me when I tell this story. But every time I see a silver sedan on the highway, my chest tightens a little, and I drive faster. Anonymous story submitted from Kansas, 2021. I used to laugh at people who said highway stops were creepy. Then one night I stopped at one. Now I get it. It was July, hot even after midnight. I was driving alone from Denver to Wichita for a work trip. Around 1 a.m., I couldn't keep my eyes open, so I pulled into a small rest area off US 400 near Mullinville, Kansas. Just one building, 2 bathrooms, and a couple vending machines glowing in the dark. There was one other car, an old white Corolla, parked crooked under a dying lamp. I didn't see anyone inside. I figured someone was asleep, so I didn't think much of it. I grabbed my phone, left the engine running for the AC, and walked toward the restroom. The night was quiet. No insects, no wind, just the hum of the highway far behind me. As I pushed open the door, a girl nearly ran into me coming out. She looked about 16, maybe younger. Long dark hair, wearing a faded pink hoodie. She smiled quick and said, "Sorry," before brushing past me. I said, "You're good," and went inside. But the way her sneakers squeaked on the concrete didn't sound right. It didn't fade away like someone walking off. It just stopped, like she froze right outside the door. I washed my hands fast, checked the stalls, and came back out. The walkway was empty, no girl, no footsteps, nothing. But the Corolla's dome light was on now. The driver's door stood open. I called out a soft, "Hey, someone out here?" No answer. The sound of the highway felt far away again, like everything around me was muted. That silence that makes you hear your own heartbeat. I started walking back to my car. Halfway there, I saw movement behind the vending machines. Someone ducked. Fast. I froze. The girl stepped out again. Same pink hoodie, hands tucked into the front pocket. But this time she didn't smile. She just stared, head tilted slightly. Her eyes were wide, not scared. Blank. Empty. "Hey, you okay?" I asked. She didn't answer, didn't blink, didn't move. I took one step closer and she spoke. Flat, quiet, almost like she was repeating something she'd heard. "He's not done yet." Before I could react, a man's voice shouted from behind the vending machines. Rough, deep, angry. "Get back in the car!" The girl turned fast and ran. I didn't wait. I sprinted to mine, slammed the door, locked it, and threw it in reverse. As my headlights swung across the lot, I saw him. Tall, heavy-set, flannel shirt, stepping out from behind the machines. He looked right at me, then at my license plate, and smiled. I hit the gas so hard the tires screeched. Didn't look back until I was 10 miles out. When I finally glanced in the mirror, there was nothing behind me but darkness. Next morning, I checked the Kansas DOT map. That rest stop doesn't exist anymore. No listing, no sign, no lights, just a closed exit. Sometimes, when I pass that stretch of US 400, I swear I still see a dim vending machine glow in the distance, and a girl in a pink hoodie standing by the door, waiting. Anonymous story submitted from New Mexico, 2020. I drive trucks for a living, mostly overnight routes from Flagstaff to Amarillo. You see a lot of weird things out there in the desert. Shadows that move, headlights that vanish. But nothing's ever messed with me like what happened on Route 87 near Clayton, New Mexico. It was a Thursday in November. I'd been on the road almost 9 hours, running on caffeine and bad podcasts. The gas gauge was dropping toward empty. No towns for miles, just sand and scrub. The next listed station on my GPS was 60 miles away. And then I saw it. A flicker of white light on the horizon, like a neon sign. I slowed down, thinking maybe it was a diner or one of those 24-hour truck stops that pop up in the middle of nowhere. The closer I got, the more I could make out a low building, one pump, and a faded sign with half the letters burned out. It read, "Station, Soap." I pulled in, gravel crunching under the tires. The air felt thick, even though the wind was blowing hard. The place looked wrong, too quiet. No sound except the buzz of an old fluorescent light over the pump. Still, I needed gas. I killed the engine, stepped out, and swiped my card. The pump screen blinked once, then froze. Static flickered across the tiny LCD. Then it just said, "Ready?" Weird, but it worked. Gas flowed. I leaned on the side of my truck, listening to the desert. That's when I noticed the lights inside the store flicker on. There hadn't been any a second ago. I squinted through the glass door. There was someone behind the counter. Couldn't see their face, just a figure in a red apron standing perfectly still, like they were waiting for me. When the pump clicked full, I capped it, walked toward the door and pushed it open. A bell chimed softly. The air inside was stale, smelled like dust and something faintly sweet like old fruit. Shelves half empty, products I hadn't seen since the 90s. Cereal boxes with faded logos, cans with prices like 59C written in marker. The person behind the counter didn't move. They were wearing a name tag that said Sam, letters half rubbed off. Could have been 30 or 50, I couldn't tell. Pale skin, blank stare, eyes too wide. "Pump 4, I said, trying to sound casual. They just nodded once, slow, like a wind-up toy. I set a bottle of water on the counter. Sam stared at it for a few seconds, then reached for an old register. When they hit a key, the drawer popped open and a chill ran down my arms. The cash inside was all old bills, yellowed, some with red print across them. I handed over a 20. Sam smiled faintly and said, "You shouldn't be out here this late." I laughed awkwardly. "Yeah, I know, trying to beat the morning rush." Their smile didn't change. "You won't." Then they blinked, slow, like it took effort. "Road's closed ahead, you'll see." I didn't say anything else. Just took my receipt and backed out. As soon as I hit the night air, I realized something. There hadn't been any sound inside the store. No fridge hum, no radio, no buzzing lights. Total silence. I got in my truck, started it up, and pulled out fast. The moment my headlights hit the highway again, I felt lighter. The station disappeared in the mirrors after a few seconds. About 10 miles down, I saw flashing hazards. A semi was stopped across both lanes, jackknifed sideways. 2 smaller cars were pulled off to the shoulder. A trooper was waving traffic to a full stop. He told me a rock slide had hit the road less than 20 minutes ago. If I hadn't stopped for gas, I'd have been right there when it happened. The rest of the night was a blur. When I reached Clayton, I figured I'd call the company to report the weird gas station. But when I checked my GPS history, there was no stop logged, no detour, just a straight line from the desert to the crash site. I even tried to backtrack the next morning. Daylight made the desert look smaller, emptier. I drove 50 miles both ways. Nothing. No building, no pump, not even tire tracks. Later that week, I mentioned it at a diner in Amarillo. An old driver, sitting next to me, looked up from his coffee. He said, "You saw the station with no name." Then went back to eating like he hadn't just said something insane. I asked what he meant. He shrugged. "Shows up where it needs to, keeps you off the wrong road. Doesn't stick around long enough." I laughed it off, but when I checked the receipt that night, the edges were yellowed. The date said November 12th, 1994. I've never seen that station again. But every time I drive Route 87, I still keep one eye on the horizon, waiting for the glow of a single flickering light. Anonymous submission from Bluefield, West Virginia, 2021. I've been driving night shifts for a delivery company for almost 8 years. You get used to empty roads, bad coffee, and the kind of silence that makes you talk to yourself just to fill it. But nothing prepared me for the night Route 19 refused to end. It was late November, cold enough that frost was starting to form on the mirrors. I was heading south out of Bluefield, hauling computer parts toward Princeton. The GPS said 40 minutes to the drop-off. I'd done that route 100 times. Around 2 a.m., the gas light blinked on. No big deal. I knew there was a GoMart right off the highway. I pulled in, filled up, grabbed a black coffee, and nodded to the cashier, a tall, older guy with a beard. His name tag said Earl. He smiled like he'd seen me before. "Long night?" he asked. "Always," I said. He chuckled. "Well, you take care. Roads get weird this time of year." I laughed it off, paid, and got back in the truck. The highway was empty again. No cars, no trucks, just me and that humming stretch of road, cutting through the mountains. About 20 minutes later, I noticed the gas needle had barely moved. Then I saw something ahead. A bright glow on the right side of the road. A gas station, same logo, same GoMart sign. I frowned. There wasn't supposed to be another one for at least 50 miles. Still, the coffee in my cup holder had spilled a little, so I figured I'd pull over and grab a napkin. When I parked, I realized something strange. The same old Ford pickup was in the same spot by the side door. And when I stepped inside, the same cashier looked up at me. Same red flannel shirt, same name tag. "Earl?" He smiled. "Back again already?" I froze. "Sorry, what?" He tilted his head. "You forgot this," he said and slid a paper receipt across the counter. It was dated 20 minutes earlier. Same pump, same time, same total. I left without saying anything. The second I hit the highway again, I watched the GoMart lights fade in the rearview mirror. Told myself I was tired, hallucinating. Maybe the roads looped around. But the map showed a straight line. Another 20 minutes went by. The GPS timer stayed at 19 minutes remaining. The same pine trees rolled by, the same broken guardrail, the same billboard for some church revival in Bluefield. I glanced at the clock. 2:43 a.m. Same as before. Exactly. I started laughing. That panicked kind of laugh that doesn't sound right. Then up ahead, I saw the lights again. GoMart. Pump 4 glowing under the same busted bulb. The same Ford pickup by the door. I didn't stop. I hit the gas. Blew past it at 85, eyes locked on the road. But in the mirror, I could still see it behind me. The lights not shrinking like they should. They stayed the same distance for miles. Then my headlights flickered. The radio turned itself on. Static when you and then a voice so faint I almost missed it. Pump 4, out of order. When the light came back, I was pulling into the GoMart again. Didn't remember turning, didn't remember slowing down, just there it was. The same everything, except this time Earl wasn't behind the counter. The door stood open. I walked inside anyway. The air smelled like gasoline and cold metal. The receipt printer was spitting out paper nonstop. All the same numbers, the same time, repeating over and over. 2:23 a.m., 2:23 a.m., 2:23 a.m. Then I heard someone whisper from the stock room behind the counter. Not loud, just enough to know it wasn't the wind. "Don't leave yet, you'll just come back." I bolted. Didn't stop till I hit the interstate. I drove until dawn. Didn't even care where I ended up. Somewhere past Beckley, I finally saw sunlight. Real sunlight. And pulled over. When I checked my phone, the GPS history had one entry. GoMart #89, Bluefield WV. Time 2:23 a.m. over and over, 47 times. I've driven that route since. There's still a GoMart off Route 19. Looks normal, but the pump marked number 4? It's sealed off with tape and a closed for maintenance sign.